Welcome to EmpowerFuse with your host, Dr. Carolyn M. Rubin. EmpowerFuse is a show of empowering messages with a focus on encouraging self-confidence, resilience, and a positive mindset. Certified life coach and six-phase meditation trainer, Dr. Carolyn Rubin, will unleash inspiration together while igniting motivation and creativity. Dr. Rubin will discuss many topics such as healthcare, leadership, life, growth, and we'll add in some laughter too. So please welcome the host of EmpowerFuse, Dr. Carolyn Rubin.
Good morning, everyone. It is so great to spend this Saturday morning with you. I appreciate you joining in and listening to our message. I want to start the show off with a question for you. Have you ever stood in the middle of your own life and felt this just doesn't fit anymore? You ever stood in the middle of your own life and felt this just doesn't fit anymore? Maybe it's the job that was once your dream job, and now you question whether it still is. Or maybe it's your schedule that once was safe and sacred, and now it's hard to control. Or maybe it's that relationship where you learn to be agreeable, maybe dependable or predictable, even when your spirit was whispering for something so much more. That moment isn't about failure. It's about evolution. Growth rarely arrives as a celebration. It doesn't come in with music and ribbons. It arrives as friction, sometimes as restlessness, but sometimes it's that quiet inner knowing that the life you built no longer matches the one that you are meant to live next. Welcome to EmpowerFuse, Unleashing Inspiration Together, where we ignite what's inside and we will amplify what's possible. I'm Dr. Carolyn Rubin, and today we are going to step into that sacred doorway when the old you stops fitting. Because sometimes to step into who we are becoming, we have to lovingly release who we had to be. I'm going to ask you to place your hand over your heart, and I want you to say and ask yourself this question: where in my life am I outgrowing my old identity? Where in my life am I outgrowing my old identity? And we're going to walk through this journey together. You see, you know that you're evolving when once what excited you now feels empty. You step back and you wonder where that excitement is at, or what was it all about? Or maybe it's the conversations that once felt engaging to you now leave you feeling a little shallow, a little less engaged. And peace becomes more important than pleasing. That discomfort is not confusion, not at all. It's clarity arriving before language. Discomfort is not confusing, it's clarity arriving before language. You see, your spirit always knows before your mind understands. Your spirit will always know before your mind understands. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we're going to take this journey together.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness: Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to EmpowerFuse, Unleashing Inspiration Together. There was a chapter in my own journey where I thought I had everything I wanted. I had title. I had made my way through the ranks over many years of work in the healthcare field. I was influential and still am. I have influence within the community, within my role, within my life, and I have many achievements for the work that I've done. And I've gained respect from many individuals. And that should have been enough. It should have felt like success, and it did. I still feel successful, and it felt successful in that time of my life where I was at. I was very successful. But my soul whispered that this chapter is completed. There is more out there for you. There is more to your purpose than what you've achieved, what you have done, where you are at. Now, I could have stayed right where I was at. Would have been fine. It would have looked responsible. It would have followed my life. And it also would have looked probably admirable to many because of the strides that I had made, the glass ceilings that I've broken to get where I am at. But if I did that, then it means I am required to abandon my true self, my next self, where I have purpose to provide more to others. So you see, sometimes the dream itself, it's not the destination. It's the doorway. The dream is the doorway to your next self. What do you see in that dream? How do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? Where do you see yourself in the next 6 months? Those dreams, it's going to be your mind, your heart, and your soul showing you what's possible, showing you where you have that bridge. So I want you to take your journal out, because I'm going to give you a couple of questions that I want you to write down. I want you to say, I am no longer available for. And I want you to let the truth spill out. I don't want you to filter it in any way, shape, or form. So write down the question, I am no longer available for. Just write down what your heart brings to you. And then the next question I want you to write down is, the next version of me is calling for, and let it flow. Just write down what your soul, what your mind, what your heart is saying to you. Don't try to filter it. Just write it down. You can go back to understand the explanation. But for now, just write it down and respond. See, your evolution is not loud. You're not going to hear drums. You're not going to hear loud voices. It's very subtle. It's coming from your mind, your heart, your soul. It's coming from your spirit. It's very holy. It's telling you, it's showing you the next version of yourself. And yes, it is real. There is so much each and every one of us can continue to grow into, to find our true purpose in life. We're taught to be loyal. We're taught to be loyal maybe to the job, to the roles we have. We're taught to be loyal from the time we're young until even now. And that loyalty is also around expectations. We have to be loyal to the role, loyal to the expectations of that role, and loyal to the version of ourselves that people are comfortable with. But we can move forward. We can make changes without losing that loyalty, without changing that comfortable feeling. See, outgrowing something doesn't mean that we failed in any way, shape, or form. Nor does it mean we're ungrateful for what we've achieved or how we got where we are. We're not abandoning anyone. All we're doing is taking on our next life, our next role that we will add more loyalty to. See, it doesn't mean that we're not here for others. It doesn't mean our past doesn't exist. It means we've grown in to where we're headed. And it simply means that we are becoming who we were always meant to be. Have you ever thought about that? Have you ever sat back and said, I always thought I would be something different. I always pictured my life a little differently. See, change is good. And it brings us closer to who we were meant to be. I'm going to call this the bridge of becoming, which is the space between who we were trained to be and who our soul is asking us to be. It's called the bridge of becoming, the space between where we're trained to be and where our soul is asking us to be. It's not a destination. It's not a passage. And it will require patience. It'll require trust. And it will require self-honoring. And I want you to think about this for just a minute. What part of me is ready to be seen even if I don't have the whole path yet? See, sometimes people are in fear of moving forward because they don't have a true understanding. They don't have a full picture of what they're taking on, of where they're headed. So ask yourself, what part of me is ready to be seen, even though I don't have that whole path yet? The bridge is not a place of certainty. It's not. We have to figure it out along the way. It doesn't say, here's what you're meant to do. Here's the next step. Here's where you're going. The bridge is not a place of certainty. And it's not a place of clarity. The bridge is a place of choosing. Choosing who you will become. Choosing when you're going to go there. See, the bridge of becoming is that sacred in-between space. The one where the old self is dissolving and the new self isn't fully ready yet. So it's the sacred in-between space where your old self is dissolving and your new self isn't ready just yet. So you might feel uncertainty. You may be questioning, is this really what I should be doing? Because you are a little disoriented maybe with where you're going. What is my next step? What is my next move that I need to make? And it might leave you feeling just a little bit vulnerable because you're leaving that safe space. You're leaving that person that knew their schedule every single day and what each day was going to bring. But you know what else? It's also going to leave you quietly powerful. I want you to ask yourself, what am I afraid might happen if I no longer play the role others expect of me? What am I afraid might happen if I no longer play the role that others expect of me? I want you to think through this. And then I want you to ask yourself, what might become possible if I do? What might become possible if I do? You see, so many times we're afraid to take that step, and we need to ask ourselves these questions because you need to understand what is holding you back. What are you afraid might happen if you no longer play the role that others expect of you? But then again, what might be possible if you do. You don't know what life is going to bring your way, but you know what your heart and your soul is leading you to. And you may not have a full picture of it. You may not have a true full understanding, but it's there. Now, sometimes it's understanding that you're not falling. It's helping you to not be afraid of falling. And where most people are afraid is being fully seen. So they're not afraid of the falling, but they are afraid of being fully seen because others might not understand where they are going. Questions arise, and they're tough to answer. The bridge is your opportunity to cross. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we get back, we're going to talk more about the courage to rebuild.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality, but it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating? Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. Yeah, it feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of The Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on The Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Welcome back to EmpowerFuse, Unleashing Inspiration Together. Before we went on break, I had 2 questions for you. What am I afraid might happen if I no longer play the role others expect of me? And what might become possible if I do? When you choose to grow, the world may not recognize you yet. It takes a minute. It takes time for them to realize it's the same you, but in a different growth mode. So you have more to give, more of you to share. And it's okay that they don't quite recognize it yet. Because honestly, we might not. But that's where courage comes in. Rebuilding isn't about burning down everything. I mean, think about it. If we want to rebuild our house, our image, we don't burn everything down. We just align. Maybe we put new furniture in the house or we rearrange the rooms. Much like our life, we align where we're going. We're aligning where we've been, and we're aligning on who we're going to be. So that might mean aligning your habits with your healing, with your change. Or it might mean aligning your circle with your expansion. It doesn't mean you're going to leave your old friends behind. It means you're going to add to your circle, because now you're going to expand it to include the new you and where you are going in life and what your purpose is about. It's aligning your choices with your calling. It's all about aligning your choices with your calling. And this is where your new introduction begins. So I want you to say this with me. I am a person who honors their truth, even when it's inconvenient. I am a person who honors their truth, even when it's inconvenient. And I am a person who honors their truth, even when it changes everything. I am a person who honors their truth even when it's inconvenient. And I am a person who honors their truth even when it changes everything. I want you to take out your journal, because now I want you to write down these 3 questions. And I want you to think about them. First question: to embody the next version of myself, I will begin. To embody the next version of myself, I will begin. And to protect my peace, I will end. To protect my peace, I will end. And then the boundary I need to set is. The boundary I need to set is. If you feel brave and you would like, please share a line on the post in the social media or even here in the comments. And if you're not so inclined to put it out publicly, please make a private note in your journal, because this is called identity work. This is going to help you cross that bridge. To embody the next version of myself, I will begin. To protect my peace, I will end, and the boundary I need to set is. It's your identity work. And right now, I want to guide you through something else that's gentle yet powerful. Please close your eyes unless you're driving, then don't. I want you to uncross your legs. I want you to relax your jaw. I want you to soften your shoulders. Please take a slow inhale. Hold and exhale deeply but slowly. One more time. Inhale. Hold it. And one more. Inhale. Hold and exhale. Now, I want you to visualize your older identity, the one that's ending. Visualize your older identity, the one that is ending, not as a failure, not as something to fix, but as a former version of you who was doing your absolute best. Do you see yourself? Now I want you to honor yourself for the many years of being you. Honor yourself and thank yourself. Now, I want you to visualize the person who is emerging. I want you to visualize your energy, your posture. Visualize the way you speak, the way you choose, and the way you lead. Do you see yourself clearly? Now, I want you to whisper, I am becoming me. This is how transformation begins. Not by force, but by permission. Breath, hold, and exhale. Did you like who you visualized? Do you feel more comfortable with who you are becoming? In the next 24 hours, I want you to choose one small act that aligns with who you are becoming. Doesn't have to be a big leap. We all learn to walk before we run, so just take one small step. For example, maybe say no gently but unapologetically to something you've been asked to do or someplace you've been asked to go. Speak your need without shrinking. And rest instead of overworking just to prove yourself. We're all guilty. So take one small step to take you towards that new you, that new version of you that you just saw. And I want you to write this in your journal. My next 10-second act of courage will be. My next 10-second act of courage will be. Your future is built in moments like this. When we take time to realize who we are, we take time and realize where we're going, and we take time to visualize what that looks like. And we start to cross the bridge. See, this is where we gather everything and we turn it into transformation. So I want you to say this with me. Becoming requires space. Becoming requires support. and becoming requires self-honoring. Becoming requires space. Becoming requires support. And becoming requires self-honoring. So let's translate this into what a real world shift might look like. What needs to soften? Maybe write this in your journal. What needs to soften? Pressure? Self-expectation? Perfection? Maybe urgency. What needs to soften? The next question. What needs to strengthen? What needs to strengthen? Boundaries, voice. Maybe it's rest or clarity. What needs to strengthen? And then the third question is, what needs to go? Maybe it's a habit that we're going to let go of. Maybe it's a role that we are currently in, or a pattern. Maybe it's a story. But what needs to go to allow ourselves to cross the bridge? We all have answers to these three questions. And it takes just a minute to reflect. So please do so when you answer them. Because these are becoming coordinates for your life. These questions will be your coordinates moving forward. You see, you don't need to rebuild your life in a day. Nobody can do that. We can start it, but it takes more than 24 hours. You only need to align one choice at a time. That's all you need to do. Align one choice at a time. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we've got a few more things to talk about.
Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality? But it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating. Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
Like, it was almost instant. Like, I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. be magical.
Welcome back to EmpowerFuse, Unleashing Inspiration Together. Before the commercial break, I had 3 questions for you. What needs to soften? What needs to strengthen? And what needs to go? Now what I want to ask you to do is to write this down, because each day I want you to speak them out loud. So questions that I want you to ask yourself every morning, every midday, every evening. So the first question, who am I choosing to be today? This is your morning check-in. So I want you to take a look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself that question. Who am I choosing to be today? And then halfway through, take a break. I want you to have a little bit of a reset. So I want you to put your hand on your heart, a hand on your abdomen, and I want you to take 3 slow breaths. And just do a reset of how the day is going. And then in the evening, I want you to ask yourself, where did I honor myself today? So again, in the morning, you're going to look at yourself in the mirror and you're going to say, who am I choosing to be today? Throughout the day, about midday, I want you to take a breath reset. Put your hand on your heart, a hand on your abdomen, and take 3 slow breaths. And then in the evening, I want you to ask yourself, where did I honor myself today? See, these small practices can lead to seismic shifts. It's how you become. See, you've done a lot of work from the time you were young until where you are today to become who you are today. But your mind, your soul, your heart is telling you there is more for you to do. There is more to your purpose. And we've talked through a lot of that today. We've done a lot of just inner work today. And you've honored where you've been and touched on who you are becoming. So we're going to close this out with intention. So here's what I want you to do. Is I want you to write in your journal, I am not unfinished. I am unfolding. I am not unfinished. I am unfolding. See, you're shedding the version of you that had to survive and to make space for the version that you are ready to live. So understand, you're not unfinished. You're just unfolding and making room to live the life you're ready to live. So wherever you are on your journey, maybe you're on the edge of a decision. Maybe you're thinking about moving, changing jobs, taking on a new career. Wherever you are in your journey, it's on the edge of a decision, in the middle of a transition, or just beginning to feel the shift. I want you to know this. You are allowed to evolve. You're allowed to take that next step. You're allowed to cross the bridge. You're allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to outgrow the rooms that you once fit in. And you are allowed to become more without apology. The world may not understand you yet, but you do. You know what your heart is saying to you. You know where you are meant to go, what you are meant to do. And your understanding is enough to begin. So again, I want you to place your hand on your heart. And I want you to whisper, not for the world, but for you, I am not who I was. I am not yet who I will be. I am becoming. I am not who I was. I am not yet who I will be. I am becoming. I want you to honor the person you have been, because you fought for your existence. So honor the person you have been, because you fought for your existence, and welcome the person that you are becoming, because that person will lead your future. Please honor the person you are becoming. Cross the bridge and enjoy the new you. And as you step back into your day, your week, your world, may you walk with clarity. May you choose with courage. May you lead with presence. And may you also remember you are not too late. You are not too much. You are right on time. Please go back to the questions. Take time to answer them. And decide when you're ready to walk through the doorway and cross the bridge. Until next Saturday, I want you to ignite what's inside. I want you to light that fire. Honor yourself and celebrate the new person that you're about to be. Stay blessed. Enjoy your family, your friends, your loved ones. Have a fabulous weekend and a great week ahead. And then next Saturday, we will see you again. Thank you for becoming who you want to be and to take the time to take this journey with me. Bye-bye, everyone.
This has been EmpowerFuse with your host, Dr. Carolyn M. Rubin. Join us each week as Carolyn brings individuals together to share ideas, to collectively support each other, and to spark inspiration. Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern.